All right, so now I'm gonna take you through my favorite static stretches. So obviously there's thousands of stretches that you can do, which are all beneficial, depending on what your goal is and what you're working on. So this static stretch series that I created is all the main muscle groups that we need to work on, especially after performance training. So the first one, we're gonna keep it very simple. Those feet together, you wanna relax your upper body, and we're just gonna hang forward and release. And just, you don't have to overstretch on this first one. Just let your body relax. It's more of a decompression, just as much as it is a stretch. So relax, take a couple deep breaths. And typically on our stretches, our goal is to hold for about 30 seconds. I would say minimum 20 seconds. If you can get to 30 and stay in that position and stay relaxed and continue breathing, that's how you get the maximum benefit. So once we complete that one, we're gonna come up nice and slow. And now we're gonna take our hands in front, above our head, lean back, and we're gonna stretch through our abs and through our rib cage. So all the way through. Yep, nice control, nice balance. Push your hips slightly forward. Take a deep breath. And once again, you want to hold it for that 20 to 30 seconds to get the maximum benefit. Good, now let's relax and go into our next one. And remember, this is a demo, so I'm just showing you the technique, the form, but I want you to actually get a timer and try to hold each stretch for 30 seconds. Let's challenge yourself and let's increase that flexibility. So now we're gonna go wide. Make sure your toes are facing forward. We don't want them open. Toes facing forward. Now on this one, we're not gonna round our back. We're gonna keep it flat. We're gonna push our hips back and we're gonna reach our hands towards the ground, and you should feel a good stretch through your hamstrings as well as through your calves and into your Achilles. Once again, we'll take a deep breath. And on this one, my back is still flat. I'm not rounded. I'm basically pushing my hips back, so that way I'm keeping that back nice and flat. And now on this one, when we hit our time target, we're actually gonna walk both hands over to that right foot. And we wanna extend and reach for that. And now what I like to do is grab that foot, pull, and then you also feel that pull through your lat. So here, and once again, we're gonna hold that for that 20 to 30 seconds. And once we're complete, we're gonna stay nice and low. We're gonna walk back, and we're gonna go to our left foot. Once again, right hand on top, which is stretching through that lat on the opposite side. Good. All right, so now we're gonna come up nice and slow. We're gonna keep our feet where they are, because we're in a pretty good stretch position there. And now we're gonna put our hands on our hips, and we're just gonna slowly push our hips forward as we lean back. So now we'll get an initial stretch into those hip flexors. Good, try to keep your feet where they are. You also feel that stretch through your groin. Good, and once you hit your time target, you want to come up nice and slow. And now we're going to drop to one knee. In this case, I have my right knee down, left knee in front. And now all I'm going to do is push my hips forward. And now I can feel that good deep stretch into my hip flexor on the right side. So hips are pressed forward. Take a couple deep breaths, get a good stretch. And at about the halfway mark, I'm gonna go arms in front, and I'm gonna reach behind me, and you should feel an even deeper stretch. Good, once we hit our time, we're gonna come up nice and slow. Let's keep that first knee, or the right knee in this case, down, and we're gonna go heel down, toe up on that front foot, and now very carefully, we're gonna reach both hands towards that front foot. And your goal is to try to keep that knee locked, and you're gonna feel a very deep stretch into that hamstring. So let's go both hands forward. Control breathing. And once we get balanced and comfortable, we wanna try to pull back on that front foot. And now you'll feel that deep stretch through your calf as well as your Achilles. Good. Once you hit your time target here, boom, we're going to release, come up nice and slow, and we're going to switch legs. Remember the first one, we're just pushing our hips forward, stretching out, hip flexor, left side. And once we get into that, we're going to go hands forward. We're going to lift above head, push our hips forward, and reach back, and you'll feel an even deeper stretch. Once you hit your time target, you're going to come up nice and controlled. You're going to go heel down, toe up, and we're going to take both hands and reach for that front foot. And if it's easier for you, feel free to just pause the video as you go through your time, and then that way we can work through it together. So that way you can make sure you're mastering your technique, your form on every single set. Here we go, heel down. Now we're going to pull back on that toe. You should feel a good stretch through that calf into your Achilles. Good, we're going to hold it. Once we hit our time target, we're going to come up nice and slow. And now we're going to transition. So now we want to start working into our glutes as well as into our hamstrings. So, into our quads. So the first one we're going to do, we're going to lay side, we're going to grab here, and we're going to pull back as far as possible, which should give us a good quad stretch on the leg that we're working with. So pulling it back. And you want to maintain that position. You should feel a deep stretch through your quad. Good, and hopefully you have enough mobility to hold that position. If not, just keep working on it, you'll get there. And once we hit our first time, we're gonna roll forward now, and we're gonna pull even harder. And now we're actually gonna lift our chest off the ground in order to create an even deeper stretch through our quad. The opposite arm, you want to keep it extended because that'll help you create balance and also help you push to lift your upper body to get that deeper stretch. And once we hit our time target, you want to relax, release that leg, and now we switch sides. So now, first one here, body is nice and straight, and pull back on that foot in order to increase that stretch throughout your quad. Once we hit our time target, we're just gonna hold onto that foot, roll over. Now opposite arm goes straight, pull that quad nice and deep, and lift that upper body and get deeper into that stretch. All right, once we hit our time, we're gonna release it there. From there, we're gonna roll over and we're gonna get into those glutes. So first thing we're gonna do, let's stretch our right glute first. We're gonna cross it over, lift that opposite leg, and then we're gonna grab your foot as well as your shin and just bring that knee towards your chest. And you wanna roll your hips forward until you feel that good stretch throughout your glutes. Take a deep breath and try to go a little deeper into it. Good. Once you hit your time target, you want to relax, switch legs, grab the foot, shin, and bring that leg into your body. Once again, take a deep breath and get a little deeper into that stretch. Once you hit your time target, you want to release it nice and slow. Sit up, make sure you take your time, take a couple deep breaths, and that completes your static stretch, hitting the main muscle groups that we're targeting in most athletic performance training programs. But don't be afraid to keep going. There's so many other stretches that you can incorporate to maximize your benefit, but I wanted to focus on the priorities that I wanted you to touch on as a part of your training program with Phase 1. So with that said, that's it. It's time for recovery. So you should be looking for some form of a protein drink, a post-workout drink, or something along those lines. And then, of course, some good healthy eating to make sure you're taking care of your body and you're recovering and you're ready for the next workout. So with that, I will see you on the next one.